If your house was infested with cockroaches, would you fix the problem by buying a big screen TV and plopping it down in the living room? That's what we're doing, Clarksville. We're going to talk about it next on the Chris Top program.
The Top, broadcasting worldwide on iHeartRadio and Spreaker.com.
Hello, dorks of the world, and WOBA to all. That zombie apocalypse is quickly approaching, kiddies. Right this minute is the best time to look for the closest dork safe house. Why don't we ask little emo Timmy where he's gonna go when the zombies come a-knocking? Oh, wait, look at that zombie go, eating what few brains little emo Timmy had left in his head. Remember, be a dork, be proud, be hip, and WOBA. Portions of the day's programming are reproduced by means of electrical transcriptions or tape recordings.
You can either talk in the Chris Top program.
I am the one and only Chris Top.
You can either talk in the Chris Top program.
Broadcasting live from my lavish studio apartment.
The VCR and the DVD, there was a night of black back in 1970. What didn't know about the World Wide Web was a whole different game being played back when I was a kid. Wanna get down in a cool way, picture yourself on a beautiful day. Big bell bottoms and groove along here, just walking in style with a portable MP3 play. You can listen to the music on the Chris Top program. You can hear the music on the Chris Top program.
This is the Chris Top program.
And I'm the one and only Chris Top, broadcasting live from our lavish home studio here in sunny Clarksville, Tennessee, with an ocean view. How in the hell are you doing, world?
You sure as darn are the one and only Chris Top. Sup?
Yeah,
I thought I'd mix it up a little bit.
I feel like I'm losing my voice.
Are you?
Yeah, do I sound funny to you?
But I felt like I was kind of like getting a little, what's the word? Like, you know what that means?
Have no idea.
Yeah. Feeling a little like that today.
Yeah, maybe we caught some kind of funk.
Maybe it's the air, because when you go outside, it feels all nasty and
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff floating around, so it could be, I guess it could be anything. Yeah.
I was walking down the park the other day, and there was like freaking pollen everywhere.
Well, you're from Ohio, so you may not be immune to it yet.
I don't think I will ever be immune to
You may not be. Some people live here for years and still no good. Okay, now, I want to share something because I want to get started and get to the meat of this real quick. But I do want to share something with everybody that I posted on Facebook just recently. And that'll kind of help me lead into everything that I want to talk about. And I'm not an economist. I'm not a politician. I'm just a guy that I think has some common sense. So I may not have the best plan in the world, but I don't understand why it couldn't work. All right, now first let me share this with you. And this is on my Facebook page if you want to go back and read it. I tend to take a common sense approach when it comes to problems or desired outcomes. I often hear citizens of Montgomery County challenging our local politicians in ways that I do not agree with. One example is an opinion piece I read by a fellow resident who wants the city to expand Liberty Park. Now, I was never a fan of this project in the first place, and I'll tell you why. A large portion of the budget was used for the marina. Why did the city decide to take something on that no private investor would touch? When did it become the city's responsibility to fund projects costing millions of our tax dollars? Now, the opinion piece goes on to say, has the city built a performing arts center, a sports complex, a community center, anything of substance? Now, look, I love my city. Everyone knows I was born and raised in Montgomery County. Growth would be a win for everybody. The last time I checked, we had 3 or 4 community centers. None of them ever seemed to be maxed out to capacity. I do, however, notice a big crowd at the Clarksville Athletic Club. every time I drive by. My point is, our politicians probably are not the wisest business people. The two main jobs our local government should focus on are keeping us safe and courting investors. I want our city to grow, but not by the sweat and blood of the taxpayer who lives paycheck to paycheck. I'm a big supporter, and that's the end of the article, but I'm a big supporter of the arts and things. I'm not much of a sports guy, but I understand every larger city needs some kind of a sports complex. We all need community centers. We need these things. We need the parks, and I get that. And I'm a huge supporter of the arts. I would love to see the Roxy just grow and expand. But sometimes I wonder if it's the city's responsibility, because it seems like anything the government gets its hands into, it usually turns out to be somewhat of a disaster. So what if the city is made more appealing and we attract large investors to come in and open these facilities? Like say what if some rich guy just comes in and builds just the biggest, largest, most beautiful performing arts center you've ever seen? Well, if he did that, then there would already be studies and there would be proof that this is going to make money. Otherwise, somebody would never invest the money to do that. And if they're not willing to do that, then more than likely there's not a need for it. So you see what I'm getting at? Why take our tax dollars and invest it in something that's going to fail? And it's our money. I don't understand. If a private investor is not willing to do these things, then why should the city do it? Why should we pay for it?
That was a question I was going to ask because I misread that part. I thought it said no private investigator would touch. I was about to say, what's the story about that? And can't talk.
I'm glad you did research.
Yeah. I was also going to ask, you said that you were against the project from the beginning, right?
Yes.
So does that mean you were totally against Liberty Park?
I was totally against the government funding Liberty Park because that's our tax dollars, and the whole community didn't want that to happen.
Really?
Yes. I would rather see, and you're never going to have 100%, on with anything that the government decides. I don't want the show to be about that today. That could be something we could talk about on a later date, but I want to focus on something today that I feel like is really important. And I've been going over some statistics, and I've been looking at a few things, and I think the equation, if we want to see true growth in our city, it's a pretty simple equation. You have to fix something first. You have to fix the crime rate, and I'm going to go back and give you some details on that in just a minute. And then once you fix the crime rate, I think the government, the city officials, should start courting small businesses and large businesses to come into the city. And that goes back to my analogy about throwing the big screen television into your living room if you're infested with roaches. The roaches are still going to be there. So if we build all these nice, pretty things on the backs of the taxpayer just to make the city look good on the outside, the people come here and they visit, they start businesses here, and then and the crime rate's too much. So that's not going to do any good. That's not fixing the problem. It might put a Band-Aid on it, but it's not fixing the problem. Now, if you don't think we have a problem, I'm going to go over some stuff with you that's probably going to shock you a little bit. It's probably going to make you want to move, to be honest with you. And we have to fix the job situation. And you think, okay, well, we're at 4.9%, and that's better than the country's average, right? Well, we all know that's not a true average because a lot of people just gave up looking. So that's never true. And if you look at it, and I got a couple of different statistics on our unemployment rate. One was 4.9%, and one was 6.2%. I'm not sure which one's correct. But it doesn't make a lot of sense because you look at our poverty rate is at 17.9%. People that are on food stamps, 23,000, over 23,000 people. That's over 10,000 households.
I'm not shocked there.
Yeah, they call it food stamps now. They call it SNAP.
SNAP.
Yeah, they don't call it food stamps
anymore. I thought
anymore.
Everybody was all like, EBT.
Yeah, I think, I don't even know what SNAP stands for, but I guess saying food stamps became too embarrassing for people.
As it should be.
Yes, and it should be an embarrassing thing. And I don't begrudge anybody for being on food stamps, don't get me wrong, but I do get a little hacked off when people stay on them and they don't try to get off. I mean, if you're not disabled and you don't need the help, then let somebody else have it. Mm-hmm. Because you know how much we spend on food stamps?
How much?
In Montgomery County? $2.9 million.
Are you freaking kidding me?
That was just March. That was March. That was 1 month.
How is this okay?
Yeah. So you can't sit there and tell me that our unemployment rate is only 4.9%. It's not true. Now, we make this a safer place to live. We work on getting those jobs in there. It's all going to start to fix itself. You offer more jobs up, I guarantee the crime rate's going to go down. You make sure everybody's safer, I guarantee small businesses, large businesses are going to come in. Now let's look at some of these crime rates. This stuff absolutely shocked me. The first number I want to throw at you, this is the overall crime index. We're at a 15. Now, if you're like me, you would have no idea what that means. Okay, so Clarksville is at a 15 on the crime index. The safest isn't 1. The safest is 100.
Oh.
Yeah, that means 85% of other cities are safer to live in than Clarksville, Tennessee.
That's scary.
Is that not totally scary?
I know that there's crime here, but I'm in denial that it's bad because I live here. I don't want it to be a crime-filled city.
And, you know, we're the 5th largest city, I think, in Tennessee. But it seems like our growth has really come to somewhat of a halt over the past few years. And I feel like it's because of the crime rate. And then when you have these opinionated people that come in here and say, well, let's build more parks. Let's build more community centers. Let's do all this stuff. We've already got that stuff, and it's really nice. It's really pretty. I like using it. But why don't we lower the rate percentage first? A, because that's the right thing to do. And B, don't you want people feeling safe? Safe people are going to stay here and live here, invest their money, open small businesses. Do you see what I'm getting at? It's a pretty simple equation. Opening new things and making new parks, it's not going to fix the problem. All right, some more statistics. Now get this. Okay, first let me throw this out at you. In Clarksville, there's 123 registered sex offenders. Now, do you think I provide, okay, given the information you've been given about the crime rate so far, do you think it would be a stretch to say that there's probably at least that many more that aren't registered? I think that's probably a fair assessment. Mm-hmm. Now, you look at the full-time law enforcement. Now, this is from 2014. I don't think it's changed very much. It stayed pretty much the same for the past 10 years. So I don't think that we've had an influx. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But officers per 1,000 residents, 1.8 or 1.9. We'll say 2. We'll say it's 2 per 1,000 people. Now, the Tennessee state average is 2.5, over 2.5. So we've got 270 officers, roughly.
That's a shock to me because, like I said before, I see cops all the time. But,
yeah.
I mean, apparently it's all the same cops because...
Yeah. So, okay, so you leave the sex offenders where it's at. Say you leave it at 123. All right, now you look at murders per 100,000 people. The U.S. average is 4.5. Clarksville's average is 7. Now, let's go on to rape. This one blew my mind. U.S. average is 26. Clarksville's average is 45. And when you look at every crime, we pretty much blow just about everything away. General assaults, And this is per 100,000 people. Clarksville's 548. The U.S. average is 232. So you're telling me Clarksville's doing great. You're telling me that businesses are going to just knock down the door to come to Clarksville. Why would they? I guarantee you they see these statistics. They know better. Auto thefts, well, the U.S. average, thank God, that's higher. Overall crime, U.S. 236, Clarksville 340. I'm amazed at these numbers. So instead of the city focusing on bringing businesses in right now, why aren't we focusing on increasing the amount of officers that we have?
Yeah, we need more police.
Why don't we increase the amount of patrol cars that we have, the equipment that they use, things that they need? You know, I'm not saying that everybody's perfect. I'm not saying that the officers that we do have, they always focus on maybe what they need to focus on or what they don't. I'm just saying we need more. Because in order for people to feel safe and for that crime to take a dip like it should, we need more officers and we need to pay them right. I don't even know what the average pay is for an officer in Clarksville. But I don't care. I mean, I would much rather see the city increase the amount of officers we have, give them raises, and not spend millions of dollars on a marina. That makes no sense whatsoever to me. You make the city safe, then the marinas are going to come. To me, that is common sense. We're going to talk a little bit more about my two-step plan here in just a few minutes. I want to play a couple of ads first. Now, what are you thinking so far? I mean, does some of those numbers blow you away?
They do, and I'm sitting here thinking also, I think you kind of touched on it a little bit, but you were saying about the marinas and stuff, and I'm thinking, do they build these pretty things to make people think that we're a safe city, or they think somehow that's going to make the crime go away?
Well, I think they build these things to attract people. But that goes back to my analogy, hey, why don't you come watch the big game on my big screen TV? Oh, never mind the roaches that are going to crawl in your lap. You got to fix the roach problem before you start putting pretty things in your house and inviting people over. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of what my analogy goes back to. But we're going to talk a little bit more about everything, a little bit more in depth. I don't want to go too long today. But I think this is important. And I think people just need to wake up and see this, because it's going to be up to us first.
Right.
We've got to start having dinner at home with our families. We've got to start telling our kids the truth, because it's going to be up to us to fix it. Because if we don't care, the government's going to continue putting makeup on the city and not fixing the problem. So we as the people, we have to stand up and do something about it so the government will take action. And this isn't something on a broad scope. I'm not telling you to write your president. I'm telling you to go knock on the mayor's door, because we all live here. And I love this city. I've lived here all my life, and I don't plan on going anywhere else. I love spending my money here and supporting businesses. But I don't want to worry about the crime. I don't want to worry whether or not Clarksville's going to be here in 10 years because it's been overrun by crime. It's how I feel. It's just how I feel.
Albert Einstein. Albert Einstein was not able to speak until he was almost 4 years old. His teachers said he would never amount to much. The Beatles.
The Beatles were rejected by a record company who said, "We don't like their sound. They have no future in show business."
Oprah Winfrey. Oprah Winfrey was demoted from her job as a news anchor because she wasn't fit for television. Walt Disney.
Walt Disney was fired from a newspaper for lacking imagination and having no original ideas.
Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team. Beethoven.
Beethoven's music teacher once told him that he was a hopeless composer.
The Chris Top Program, working on being awesome worldwide.
Yeah!
You can either talk in the crystal program.
Mr. Pop.
Take it from the top.
Did you ever think you could afford an interior designer?
No, way too expensive. Besides, I've got style.
If you had style, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
Ouch. Interior designers are for rich people.
Magnolia Emporium.
Magnolia Aquarium? Is that like for some crazy flower fish?
No, Magnolia Emporium. Randy's clients range from nurses and teachers to musicians, actors, and even some royalty thrown in there.
Oh, I'd be on the royalty side.
You really don't have any swag, do you?
No, I don't.
That's where Randy comes in. He listens to exactly what you want, whether it's spoken or unspoken.
Okay, if you mean he can read my mind, there's lots of things I don't want Randy to know.
No, he has a great feel for what he does.
Okay, where can I find Magnolia Emporium?
Just go to magnoliaemporium.com.
We want your space to reflect your success.
Just so you know, Clarksville, I will be totally ashamed of you. And I'm talking to the city council, the mayor, whoever's in charge of this stuff. I don't know. I will be 100% ashamed of you, and I don't think I'm alone here, if we spend another dime on a new park or a new community building or a government building of some sort before we fix this stupid crime problem. It doesn't seem to me like it would be that hard to fix. You hire more cops, you pay them a little more, you invest some money in the equipment, and they police. They do their job. It doesn't seem that hard to me.
But there's always going to be excuses like, we can't hire more cops because of this, we can't do that because of this. It's ridiculous.
Well, then let's, just continue to let our women get raped and everybody get robbed. I mean, I had the statistic earlier. I think it's a 1 in 35% chance, or a 1 in 35. If you have 35 people, one of them are going to get robbed within the year. Every 35 people. And
I'm not okay with this.
Yeah, that's in Clarksville. So we all know somebody that's going to be robbed this year. Multiple people, because I know more than 35 people. So that does not compute with me. Okay, now, so if you're one of those people that are asking for a sports complex, or if you're asking for some other kind of a government-funded building, just think about it first. Just think about what you're saying. All right, okay, my path. It's pretty simple. We have to fix the crime problem, number one. Once that's fixed, this is my idea. Once we get the crime percentage down, that alone will probably get the unemployment rate up. I'm guessing. But if that doesn't, this will. Once you get the crime rate down to where it's controllable, then the city needs to go out and start courting these small businesses. People that are here that want to invest money, people that don't live in Clarksville, give them a reason to move here and to create these businesses. Okay, and I'm going to tell you how to do it. Now, you tell me if I'm being stupid or if this is outlandish, because I don't think it is. I think our future depends on this. I don't believe it would take much for this city to become overrun. I really, really don't. So if we can get to the courtship phase, which is phase number 2, why not offer the businesses that move here a tax-free environment for the first 3 years? They pay no local taxes. And if you really want to be a hero, go one step further and do your job. On a state level, promise them no taxes for the first 3 years. Now, you can't tell me a business wouldn't move in here in that type of environment that's safe, where they don't have to worry about getting robbed or their wife getting raped while they're running their business. Don't tell me that's not appealing to bring businesses in. So when you bring those businesses in, this is one of the stipulations that you're going to put on it. One of the conditions Well, if you're not going to pay any taxes at all for the first 3 years, we got to get something out of this. So this is what we want. 80% of your employees have to live in the Montgomery County area. 80%. And I don't know, maybe you could, if they didn't meet the 80% requirement for some unknown reason, then you could tax maybe the out-of-state employees somehow. Tax the business on them. I don't know. But there's ways to do this. There's ways to make this appealing. So you take away their taxes for the first 3 years. The small businesses need a break anyway. 80% of their employees have to be from the county. And then you let them know that every area of our city is safe. Every area of our city is thriving. There is no place in our city where you have to be afraid to walk at night. Why can't Clarksville be one of the top 10 safest cities in the United States? Is that a stretch? I know there are good people here. I know this place is full of good people, but what happened? What happened to our city? When did it happen? When did it become corrupt? It's embarrassing. I love my city, but it's embarrassing. And I hope I'm not alone when I say that. I hope I'm not alone with that thought. I hope other people are listening. Maybe people that didn't know those statistics. I hope you're getting pissed off too. We should be proud to say that we live in Clarksville, Tennessee. Are you raising kids here? After hearing some of those statistics I shared with you, are you planning on moving now? It's not like the city promotes that, is it? Oh, look at the new Liberty Park we just built. Never mind our rape statistics. Never mind the odds that you're going to have of getting robbed sometime this year. Never mind that. Come check out the marina at Liberty Park. I would love to see some big concert hall move in here and see these top name bands come in and just 20,000 people fill that arena up and see that band. That band. But first, I've got to see the city get fixed, because that's not going to happen until the city is fixed. So forget about focusing on the other crap. Let's make it safer for us and for our kids. We owe them that. What are you thinking?
A thought popped into my head.
All right, go for it.
Something that I read a while back ago. But there were statistics about neighborhoods, I guess, that were safer than others. And around where the marina is supposed to be one of the most dangerous, neighborhoods. It's in purple, and that's supposed to be up there.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
I don't know if it's a true statistic, but yeah, that's what I read. And I thought we were supposed to be the modern day Mayberry. What happened to that? There's crime everywhere.
I think that's how.
Where did this start?
I think that's how the press and the government officials. I think that's how they like us to see it.
That's what I want.
Yeah, and that's what we deserve.
In that type of town.
That's what we deserve when we live here. Those are the expectations. I mean, this is a part of the Bible Belt, and you don't think that our crime rate would be out of hand like that. You don't think that we wouldn't have enough police officers, but it's just the truth. And people need to start talking about that stuff.
You don't really hear a bunch of people saying, yay, let's move to Clarksville. Half the time people are moving away.
Yeah. And I guess that's why, huh?
I mean, it's a lot for other reasons. Like, they'll get out of the Army and they'll want to go somewhere else. But why do you think they want to go somewhere else?
So if we make Clarksville safe, then the economic growth, it's going to flourish. So I don't know what maybe what I said is stupid. Maybe there's reasons that we can't do this stuff. But I'm not going to believe that. I'm not going to believe that. Why wouldn't it be a priority to keep our city safe? I mean, do they care more about putting on the makeup and having these events? I mean, the events are wonderful. Don't get me wrong. I mean, it's really cool, but it just seems like it's a little premature for me. I mean, I feel like we need to do something. If you guys have any ideas, if you have any opinions, if you think the show sucks or the statements that I'm making are just outlandish, let me know. Leave comments on the Facebook page. Leave them on the Spreaker page. Whatever. I mean, just I want to know what your thoughts are on this. I want to know that I'm not alone in the way that I'm thinking. So we'll come back in just a second. We'll wrap things up, I guess. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
I mean, like,
I'm getting hacked off just thinking about it.
And it's like I can't pretend to be. I'm usually happy and bubbly on this show, and now I'm just like mad because that's not what I pictured this city to be. I pictured this city to be a bunch of people that were nice and warm-hearted to each other and would help each other when they were down, not this. What is this? Music that will change your soul.
Is my music life-changing? Yeah. Yes, it is life-changing. It will make people do great things, possibly even fly.
I mean, this guy is a world-famous broadcaster, and next thing we know, he's hanging with T-Pain out in the green room. This guy don't stop.
No, this guy can't afford to stop. There are too many women out there that need to feel empowered, and that's what my music does.
The vocals, nobody can touch it. Lyrically, it's almost like it was written by Moses.
No, it's not just about booties bouncing. It's about life. It's about death. It's about every single thing we take for granted.
For me, it's about love and harmony.
The greatest song of all time? I don't know.
Booties Bounce is the greatest song of all time.
Yeah, Chris Top in the house. Dorks of the world unite, y'all. Oh, yeah, boy. Here we go. I like to watch them booties bounce, them booties bounce. Oh, I like to watch them booties bounce, 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 bounce. I like to watch them booties bounce, them booties bounce, 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 bounce. Oh yeah, Dorks of the world unite. Life is good. Peace out.
But that's the thing about Chris Top. He wasn't just a one-trick pony.
Obviously, Booties Bounce was a #1 hit for me. That put a lot of pressure on me going back into the studio.
How can someone write 2 songs to end all songs? It's not even possible.
Well, I wanted the second song to be totally different, but I wanted it to be equally as empowering.
I would set myself on fire and jump off a building for Chris Top.
Oh yeah, I love the fans. They're the reason I do what I do. After months and months in the studio, we finally came out with it, our second #1 hit.
Yeah. Yo, this is Chris Top in the house. Laying down the smack for the second time. That's right, my bitches. This one's called Boobies Bounce. Yeah, here we go. I like to watch them boobies bounce. Them boobies bounce, bounce, bounce. I like to watch them boobies bounce. I like to watch, I like to watch, I like to watch them boobies bounce, 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 bounce. I like to watch them boobies bounce. Them boobies bounce. I like to watch them boobies bounce, 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 bounce. Dorks of the world unite, yo. I'm out.
Thanks to Chris Top, women around the world are not afraid to let their boobies bounce.
It's really cool. I'll walk into a club somewhere and people just start singing the lyrics to me. I don't even know how they memorized them that fast.
Boobies bounce.
Do I feel like a god? No, I don't.
Chris Top is a god.
Oh yeah, I'll absolutely go back to broadcasting. But for now, I just want to enjoy the limelight.
And watch your booties bounce.
This has been a Chris Top production.
You can either talk in the Chris Top program.
Mr. Pop.
Take it from the top.
All right, in closing, I want to say this. This is one of those things that we don't have to wait until it happens to us. We don't have to wait until our house is vandalized or gets broken into. We don't have to wait until we're robbed or assaulted. we don't have to wait for our wives or our daughters to be raped before we do something about it. I challenge everybody in this county, in Montgomery County, to sit down at your tables at least one day this week. Can you do that? Can you sit down at the dinner table one day and just discuss how you are going to approach other people in the community, to let them know how important it is that we fix this crime scene, that we fix Clarksville before we can move further, before we can grow and prosper the way we should. Shame on you, city council, past mayors, for not fixing this problem 20 years ago. You left it up to us, didn't you? That's not right. That's my 2 cents. So we've got some exciting things coming up.
We do.
We are going to be in Nashville June the 9th, 10th, and 11th.
Yeah!
You are so loud.
That's when the police shows up.
Yeah, the one cop that's out there is going to show up now. Because you're screaming in the house. But no, we're going to do interviews, live interviews from BB King's, and anybody's welcome to come and hang out with us. It's a free event. You can come and sit in on the interviews, and it's really cool because we, of course, talk, and then they usually play 2 or 3 songs for us live during the interview, and it's a lot of fun. And you can get all the details on thechris.program.com if you want to come hang out. Also, on the 3rd day, the final day, on the 11th from 6 until 8 o'clock, we have entertainment, we have prizes, and we have an award ceremony that's set up. And it's called the WOBA Awards, and WOBA stands for Working on Being Awesome. And most of these people are just diehard musicians, songwriters, entertainers, and I gravitate toward this group because, to me, they're a perfect example of not giving up and pushing forward and really trying to capture your dream. And I think that stuff's important. And I think it's inspiring for anybody. I don't care what you do in your life. I think it's just inspiring to see these people go after that and go after the stuff that they love. What's your favorite part about the WOBA award experience?
Oh, I liked the last time. That was magical.
Well, we can't skip the interviews, though.
I know. I love the interviews. I love them. But that was just like my favorite part. Like, I love the interviews a lot, but that was my freaking favorite part. Like, with the red carpet and this big, huge ceremony going on and all these WOBA awards everywhere. It was like, boom, bam. I was all about it.
Okay, question. Do you have to be a celebrity to get on the red carpet?
No.
Who's allowed on the red carpet?
All.
Anybody?
All are allowed.
Okay, does the WOBA award cost anything? Like the ceremony?
Nope.
So we're going to be in the heart of downtown Nashville. You can come and see us. You'll have to pay for parking. I can't help that. But then you'll be in an air-conditioned oasis, and you'll be getting all this free entertainment.
Is good.
It is wonderful. And the sweet tea's really good, too.
That sweet tea.
At BB King's, yeah. And we got all kinds of cool free stuff to give away. Some of my favorite, I love Hey Sugar Shop.
Hey, Sugar Shop.
Yeah, they're going to send us all kinds of goodies.
I'm going to eat them all.
It's going to be
Just
fun.
Kidding.
But not only do we have that to look forward to, but we also have the 24/7 nonstop radio station that's coming up.
I keep telling people about that. I'm like, we're going to be on air 24/7,
Yes.
and it's going to be rock bow.
People are going to get so tired of us. But no, we're going to set up and we're going to go 24/7, and it's going to be strictly independent artists. It's going to be Chris Top Program interviews and shows just around the clock. And we're going to break in live from time to time, do live shows and interviews and things like that. And it should be a lot of fun. I'm excited about it. The first phase is to get the studio cosmetically finished, and we're hoping to do that by October. And then by December, we hope to have the actual station up and going. So it should be a lot of fun. And we're going to try to really work on that local connection. I don't know that we made too many friends today, though, as far as city council goes and politicians.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah.
They probably all hate our guts now.
Well, hopefully they understand. Hopefully they understand where we're coming from. And we're citizens of Clarksville, and we have every right to speak up and voice our concerns on these things. So,
Chris Top for mayor.
No, I would just rather broadcast. Thanks, though. I appreciate it. But thank you guys so much for listening. We don't take you for granted. I promise you that. And if you don't catch the show live, then you're probably listening on iHeartRadio or Stitcher or the ChrisTopProgram.com. I don't care how you listen, whether it's live or on demand, in your earbuds and your car speakers while you're playing your Xbox. I don't care. I'm just really thankful that you're listening because I know there is a million other things you could be doing, but you chose to listen to us. And that makes us feel pretty darn good. Clarksville, get your crap together. Until we broadcast again, please remember this. Life is good, and we're gone.
WOBA Worldwide with the Christoph program.
Can I slow down? WOBA?
WOBA.
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 Yes.
Okay, WOBA Worldwide. Okay.
WOBA Worldwide.
With WOBA Worldwide.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
WOBA Worldwide. Tor. WOBA. WOBA World. I get it now. WOBA Worldwide. WOBA Worldwide. WOBA Worldwide with the Christoph program. Okay. WOBA Worldwide with the Christoph program. No, it's not that.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
No. It's bad. Okay, so it's bad.
It's not bad. It's
WOBA Worldwide. WOBA Worldwide with the Christoph program.
Beautiful.
Cool?
Beautiful.
Okay, WOBA Worldwide. So on. WOBA Worldwide with the Christoph program.
If you're gonna WOBA, you might as well WOBA worldwide.
WOBA Worldwide with the Christoph program.
This has been a Chris Top production.
You can either talk in the Christoph program.
Mr. Pop.
Take it from the top.
Maybe dark things might be looking grim. I guess it's time for an acronym.
Dude.